bring it to order. Monthly ARB meeting, roll call please.
Thornton, Pinion,
Here.
Warner, Kirkland,
Here.
Treadway.
Here.
First off will be approval minutes. I believe they sent out last for the February 2024 meeting. Anybody have any questions? Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Treadway,
Here.
Kirkland.
Here.
Yay. All right, we'll move on to old business. Anybody have any old business? We'll move on to new business. My new business? No? Okay, we'll go on. Chris for the EFR monthly report.
All right, so the Decatur fire stats for February 24, we had 286 Echo, Delta, and Bravo calls in the city limits. Of those, we arrived on scene 279 times within 9 minutes, giving us 98% fractile. In the PJ, we responded to 13, and we were at 100% of those within 13 minutes. You have the EMS coordinator's report in front of you.
Last month. Thing turned red or something. Last month, 1,469 calls for service. We did roll 8 calls last month, which if you think with February being 8 days shorter than the other months, it was, even though the number's not higher, that was a higher call volume for February. We looked, January had 1,500, but we had less days in February, so we were pretty busy.
We did have 29.
Well, yes, we was only pretty short. So, but yeah, but we did have 8 roll calls in the city limits. Along with that, we had 2 ambulance malfunctions reported to us, and we've had 6 time exemption forms that have been turned in. I think 2 of those have been returned and should have been factored into these stats. And then, or were they, did we make that? One was denied. Yes, sorry. And then we're gathering more data on some of the others, so they may factor in. Like I told you, the January numbers actually did change a little bit because we had some more calls because of ice and snow that the exemption forms were granted, but we were just behind the curve getting those factored into the numbers. So, and then, like I said, the 2 breakdowns, one breakdown and one issue was on an emergency call. Ambulance had a malfunction in the electrical system, but they were able to get another truck out there to swap that one out. The other was a minor mishap on where an ambulance clipped the roof of a house, right? So anyway, that's all I got.
Anybody?
No questions.
Tyler?
So for the month of February, in the city limits, the Echo, Delta, and Bravo calls, we responded to 298 calls. We met 264 of those within the response time standard. That put us at 89%. Some of those time exception forms were for that category, so I think some of that will change. It should be a little higher than that. For the PJ, same call type, we responded to 21 calls. We met 16 of those in the response standard. That put us at 76%. There was also a couple time exception forms for those also. For the Charlie, Alpha, and Omega calls in the city limits, we responded to 320 calls. 314 of those were met within the response standard. That put us at 98%. And for the same call type in the PJ, we responded to 19 calls and met all 19 of those. We did roll 8 calls in the month of February, but we also responded to 9 calls outside of our coverage area that were rolled to us. And I think we actually had 3. I don't know if one of them is a mechanical issue because the truck got stolen, and then they brought it back to us after they stole it. There was no issues with the truck. Then we had one, they backed into an awning at a house that's been repaired. There's no damage to the truck. And then we had a truck catch on fire. And that unit's been totaled, so it's out of service until we get it replaced.
guess the one public or so, you got anything for 911? Okay. You good?
Good. No discipline reviews, so.
Presentations, next meeting to be April 9th at 2. Yeah. Anybody want to close this thing?
I'll make a motion.
There you go. We're done.